Hey guys, Brady here, and I'm going to be reviewing Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Now, this is probably my least favorite of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies because, well, the first four movies. Let's just pretend that I have not seen part 5 yet, although I have. But let's just say, alright, so this movie came out in 2011. And the first three movies were directed by the same guy named Gore Verbinski, who directed A Cure for Wellness, or A Cure for Wellness, The Ring, and The Weatherman with Nicolas Cage. And he had a very particular style for the Pirates of the Caribbean, for the first three Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and they were all really good. I liked the first three movies a lot, and then I saw this movie, and I was super excited to see this movie. And then I later found out that they chose a weird director to direct this. So yeah, that's where my complaint is going to come in. This movie is from the director of Chicago and Nine. Now, let's just say this is not a Disney movie. Let's just say this was a movie that Paramount was directing. And this is going to be Paramount's next big action franchise, like Mission Impossible or Jack Reacher or Star Trek. Although they did get Robert Wise, the director of Sound and Music, to direct a Star Trek movie. He directed The Day of the Earth Stood Still. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, let's just say that this is a Paramount movie, not Disney. Why the fuck would they hire the director of Chicago to direct an action movie? Why would they have Rob Marshall direct a Pirates of the Caribbean movie? I mean, it just seems kind of random. It's like having Quentin Tarantino directing the next Disney animated movie. It's like having maybe he's going to direct Toy Story 4. I mean, it's just like there's like so many directors out there that could have taken Gore Verbinski's place, and they chose probably one of the worst directors in my opinion. Now I heard Chicago is pretty good. I haven't seen Chicago, but I heard Nine got really mixed with Nine got like I think it has like a 40 or something like that. It's just an odd choice. I mean, and then right from the start of this movie, like literally the opening scene, you could be like, something's off. This feels very detached from the first three installments, and it is. The opening. Well, let's just skip to the opening. Let's just skip to after the opening where we see Captain Jack Sparrow in a disguise. Yes. That's where I knew this movie is gonna either be good or bad or just different. And it was different. I'll give it that. It is a very different movie compared to the first three films. But I didn't care for the direction they took in this movie. I don't know. Maybe if they got a capable director for an action movie, this would be good. This would be fantastic. But it just feels very detached from the rest of the franchise, and it's kind of offsetting. But yeah. So yeah, we got Johnny Depp back, and this is, by the way, this is a very fantastic premise for a movie. Sadly, they wasted it and had the director of Chicago to direct it. I mean, The Fountain of Youth, that is such a fantastic premise for a movie. Like, when I heard that the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie is going to be about the Fountain of Youth, I was excited because I just recently was learning about the Fountain of Youth at the time when this movie was being released, and right when I was learning about it, there was gonna be a movie about it, let alone a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. That is fucking awesome. And I couldn't wait. When I saw the trailer looked good. I didn't know who Bob Marshall was at the time, but then I did my research and found out that he, like I said, he directed Chicago. Um, but yeah, I was like, wow, that sounds like a cool premise for a Pirates movie, and sadly, it's wasted with this. Um, I would love to see a Fountain of Youth Pirates of the Caribbean centric movie. Like maybe if they could like remake this movie and not call it on Stranger Tides, probably call it like Pirates of the Caribbean: The Search for the Fountain of Youth. Um, Maybe in like 20 years we could get a reboot of just this movie, nothing else but just a movie. Like we don't need a reboot of the series, we need a reboot of this movie. This particular installment needs a remake, done right, with a different title, and hopefully the cast is still alive. Keep the cast, because the addition of Blackbeard's in this movie. That's a cool fictional pirate character we've heard for many years. Played by Ian McShane. I thought Ian McShane did good. Like I think the cast is great for this movie, but I don't like the direction of this movie. It just feels very different. Like the whole opening scene in London, and they're dressed in wigs, and they're in a courtroom, and they're wearing what's it called? Johnny Depp and Barbossa wearing makeup, and Barbossa has like that fake mole on his face. It's just very odd. I don't like it. I honestly do not like how this movie, what direction it took the franchise while making this movie. I don't like the tone of it. The tone just feels very off. It just the tone for the first three movies was like very fun. It had like a fun action adventure feel to it. It's hard to explain what the tone of it. They tried to recreate the tone that Gore Verbinski did. You could see where they're going from it, but the way they did it, it just felt weird. Like, you could honestly tell that it's not Gore Verbinski's style. It's someone else's style. And then 6 years later, Dead Man Tells on Tales comes out, and they try to recreate the style for the first three films, and they kind of succeed. I mean, we got Will Turner back, Keira Knightley is back, slightly, not really. She's only in the movie for like 2 minutes, not even. But yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think of the director Rob Marshall? Do you think he should be directing action movies, or do you think he should stick with musicals like Chicago and that? And he also did Into the Woods with Johnny Depp also, who yeah. So when Disney finds a director, they need to have him do another movie of theirs, and then they can make a move on with their life. Because 3 years after this movie, Johnny Depp and Rob Marshall collaborated again with Into the Woods. What are your thoughts on the Pirates of the Caribbean movies? I'm going to give this movie 1.5 out of 5 stars. There are some things that I like in this movie. The premise is a great premise. It's just executed poorly. But yeah. Also, the chase scene in this movie, the opening chase with them in London, I don't like either. Now, some could argue like the chase scene in beginning of the new movie is pretty much the same thing, but I don't know, the way they constructed the scene was pretty cool. Like, it's like a heist. Jack is like sitting on top of the roof of like some building. Just the building is just like literally just crashing its way through town, destroying whatever building or so in its path. Jack's drinking rum, and then yeah, it was a cool opening to the fifth movie, but this just felt very abrupt. The change. I don't know. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Comment below. 1.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely, probably the worst Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and I actually think that Pirates of the Caribbean 2 is better than Pirates of the Caribbean 1. Like, I love Dead Man's Chest more than I like The Curse of the Black Pearl. Um yeah. Yeah, I know this wasn't really a review. I just wanted to talk about this movie a lot because I just wanted to talk about Rob Marshall and my hatred towards him because of this movie. To me, in my opinion, he ruined Pirates of the Caribbean. Uh, not so much a review, more just a rant on the director and his style and what he chose to do when he wanted to do a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.